Today I have 10,000 subscribers. Holy cow. Um, what blows me away about this is I had the forums for such a long time, and I don't think we ever had 10,000 people. It's kind of a niche thing, so to have 10,000 people on YouTube interested in what I'm doing, that's a great feeling. It did take me a long time to get here. It's just the nature of the business, I guess. I'm not very interested in doing everything that, YouTube demands, like weekly videos or whatever. I just don't have time for that. But I do love to share my passion about this stuff. So today I'm going to share a little story about another way that life has rewarded me through my passion for Nintendo. And that's this thing right here. Not extremely exciting, but very exciting to me. This is more of a personal item. And what this is the Wii Ambassador program that was started in 2006. So before the launch of the Wii in 2006, Nintendo was finding people online. And I guess they went through this whole process. Submit your social media profile, essentially, and show that you have a lot of followers and whatever. And I had no knowledge of it at all. I didn't know this was happening. This is something that happened on the Insider forums, I think. So they had picked people already. They had picked 5, I think. New York, LA, I think there's one in Austin, Texas, one in maybe Chicago or Seattle or something like that. So rewind a little bit. That was Nintendo's part. My part came in. I took a picture of my collection at that time in 2006, and I put it online. And a blog at that point saw it and wanted to interview me. This was Vintage Computing and Gaming blog. I think it's still going. So they did an interview. I think they called it the Land of 10,000 Marios. And then it went viral. Like, everyone picked it up. Kotaku, a bunch of other really prominent gaming blogs at the time. So rewind a little bit more. I had just started at a video game beta testing company, like days earlier, before all this happened, days earlier. It was called iBeta, and they had a license with a few video game companies to do third-party beta testing for video games. It's a great job. It was not all of it was great, but it was a great job. Basically, more because of the people. I think it was a great job. So people are checking their daily blogs on break that morning, and they noticed, like, Kotaku had picked up this guy, and they were showing me. It's like, hey, look at this guy. It's like, oh my gosh, that's my collection. Where did you see that? That's your collection? A couple days later, people were checking the same thing, and I think it actually was that same day people were checking the comments, and I guess Nintendo was trying to get a hold of me. Nintendo trying to get a hold of me? So I'm checking my email. I'm not seeing anything. Then this guy, this other Brett Martin in Colorado, contacts me and says, hey, Nintendo's trying to get a hold of you. Like, whoa, okay. So he sent me their information. I sent correspondence back. Long story short, they wanted me for a Denver Wii Ambassador. So they had already picked 5 places. I didn't go through the process or whatever. I ended up going through a personal link that they sent me to fill out a bunch of information on my presence online and everything. But because I was on fire right then, they wanted to capitalize on it and decided to give me a Wii Ambassador event. So what is a Wii Ambassador event? So a couple months before launch, they said, gather up 35 of your friends, and we are going to treat them to a Wii party before the Wii launches. And then they'll get word of mouth spread, and everyone had to go post online. And back then, it wasn't like social media was just getting started. And I don't even think I had, in 2005, I had just started my YouTube channel. So it's been like 15 years since I started. But yeah, so back then, dissemination of all this marketing stuff was really fledgling. So they didn't really understand that I didn't have the greatest presence online. But because I had all that blog stuff and people were coming to the forums and people were doing stuff on my website, they decided to go through with it anyway. So September 22nd, 2006, Nintendo representatives picked us all up. We had us meet in a parking lot, and they had a bunch of parking spots designated for us that they had rented out. And one of the reps piled me and one of my close friends, a couple of my close friends. They said, like, pick 5 people to come with us. So I picked my wife and my best friend and a couple other people, and we all piled in this Nintendo rep's car, and they kind of drove us around town. So and they kept me distracted, so I didn't know exactly where we were in downtown Denver. And they took us to an art gallery space. Meanwhile, the rest of the people that had showed up, they put in stretch Hummer limos. And they put them all in, packed them all into those limos, and drove them over to the event. So I got to play for like an hour before other people arrived. So they had, I think, 6 Wiis, 6 or 8. I think it was 6 Wiis set up for people to play. And they had the launch titles. They had Wii Sports, of course, was the big one of the night. They had Rayman, which was still a beta version, so it was glitchy and it was crashing. They had Trauma Center. They had Madden, which I don't think anyone played. I think one guy played because he was a big football guy. But they had Legend of Zelda, the Twilight Princess, and they had I don't know. There's a couple other things that they had. They didn't have a Mario game at that time, I don't think. I'm trying to remember all the games that were there. They had like a list of 10 games that you could play. And so we played a lot of them. And the hit of the night was Wii Bowling, of course. I had my grandma there. She was like 80 or something, and she was playing Wii Bowling, and she just loved it. So we had an awesome night. They supplied pizza and drinks and all kinds of stuff. And then everyone got these lanyards. And the lanyards had these little Wii remotes on them. And that's, I've been told that merchandise was only offered at that event. So this is like one of 5 or one of 6 in the world. Because the ambassadors got the key. There's a little key on the keychain. The key doesn't do anything or open anything. It's just a key. I think it's just a blank key, actually. And then the Wii remote, the rubber keychain. So they never copied that and disseminated it into anything else. It was just for this event. So that's an extremely rare piece of merchandise. It's not incredibly exciting, but for me, it's awesome. Everyone got these lanyards and everyone got these badges. And then you can't really see it. I'm going to open this up. There's a better shot of the key there. I need to move this a little bit so you can see. After the event, I got this little card, and on the back it's a Wii remote. But on the front, it's a letter from Reggie Fils-Aimé, who was at the time the Nintendo of America president. I'm just going to read it. Dear Brett, congratulations, you have been selected to become a Wii Ambassador. As an ambassador, you'll get a sneak peek into the future of gaming and experience how the Wii console is going to change the way you and your friends play video games. As a gamer and expert in the video game industry, your opinions about Wii are very important to us. Well, as you know, Nintendo has been a leader in the video game industry for decades, and most avid gamers grew up with our games and characters. Think of Wii as the next phase in the evolution of gaming. It's as big as the introduction of the analog stick or the first Super Mario 64 3D environment. So at this point, I think they knew they had something on their hands. They just needed to get it in people's hands to figure it out. This is how it works. You provide us with a list of 30 or so of your friends, and we'll do everything else. So I guess I remembered it wrong. This came before the event, obviously, because they're telling me. And then 35. I think they said 35, though. So they must have changed it. You'll get food, drinks, and all of the games in an exclusive top secret location that won't be revealed until hours before your party. You and your guests will be provided with a meetup location and will be whisked away to the party. The event will occur several weeks before Wii's launch, so it's very important to keep this event exclusive to you and your selected guests. We know you'll have a blast with Wii and that you'll be able to help us spread the word. Nintendo is interested in receiving feedback from our ambassadors, and we want to know what you think the present and future hold for Wii. We want to make sure we are with you every step of the way as you prepare for your party. If you have any questions or concerns, please email them to blah, 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 blah. Start thinking about your guest list and the 30 to 35 people who will be attending your party. We'll send you a form for your guest list in the next few days. Thank you for participating in this program, and we look forward to your feedback. And it's signed. It's actually like signed. It's not like a fake signature. Reggie Fils-Aimé, President, Nintendo of America. So I have Reggie's autograph and I have Miyamoto's autograph. And I don't really have anybody else. But I'm not a big autograph guy. That night was awesome, obviously. People were just over the top. It was a super exciting event. I had my father-in-law there before I was married, and he was going crazy for it too. But the thing that surprised me the most is a year after the program started, they kept sending me stuff. So they sent me a Wii, and really early on, that Wii died, and I'm like, hey, my Wii doesn't work anymore. So they sent me another one, and I had pre-ordered one, so I got another one. I think I gave that one to someone else. I think I gave it to my grandma, my parents or something. But anyway, they kept sending free games. So I got all the first party games that year. A year from when it started to the end. I got like every first party title. I got like Wii Speak, every accessory that they had. I got the wheels and the Mario Kart, and I got all kinds of stuff. Merchandise. So I was basically put on the press list because I got like Super Mario baseball, like a duffel bag and a jersey and all kinds of stuff. So I got like rare merchandise, press merchandise, promo merchandise, and the games. And then I just, every time I played something, I put it online, figured out what I would say about it. And I don't know if too many people read it because I didn't really have a blog at that time, and the fire and the viralness of the article was kind of done. So I don't know if I did my due diligence to Nintendo, but I think I've given them quite a bit of my money over the years. So, but yeah, the whole ambassador program was great, and I absolutely loved it. And just recalling it in my mind is something that I love to do, because my friends and I will talk about it every once in a while. We actually thought about recreating it one year. Maybe we'll do that 20 years later in 2026 or something. We'll set up a bunch of Wiis and go play those old games. They're old now. Yeah, but it was a great time, and I always kind of felt like I had a relationship with Nintendo. Years later, I was actually still somehow on a list. So when I registered for E3 in 2012, that was my first E3, I was invited to their press conference, and it was actually their last press conference that was live, that they had in the theater. And they introduced Nintendo Land, and I was freaking out in Super Mario Wii U. And man, that was their last in-person Nintendo conference for E3. Everything else has been a direct. So that was kind of cool to experience the last one, and to be invited to it. I sat like front row, which I don't know. And I tried to like stay afterwards and get some autographs and whatever, but that didn't work because they just whisked everybody away because everyone had meetings and stuff to go to and interviews and whatnot. But it was pretty slick seeing Reggie Fils-Aimé like right there introducing all the new stuff and all their little props and everything, and seeing it firsthand was way different than how we all experience it now. So that was another cool thing. So and that was a result of me being a Nintendo ambassador. Like, hey, this guy's on a list. Let's get him to the show. So that was pretty awesome. And I guess those are my really big Nintendo moments. And I have it commemorated right here. So, well, 10,000 subscribers. Tell your friends. Get some more subscribers in here. Let's see how far we can go. I guess the algorithm improves a little bit for how my videos get propagated on the website there. So hopefully we'll be seeing some more people. As always, comment if you want to see something. If you see something in the background here, I always get that question. It's like, hey, that thing over your shoulder, what is that? Do a video on that. Keep those coming. I know I'm not the greatest at requests because I have to do like 10 videos in one night to really be able to do it, because I I have like one night to do it, and then I can do a bunch and reveal them in a week, weekly or maybe bi-weekly process. So that's kind of how I operate. But if you have a request, I'm going to try to put that on a list and make sure I have that list with me to talk about the things you guys want to talk about, because there's 10,000 of you now. So, hey, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate getting to 10,000. That's a big deal for me. Never thought I'd get there. Always kind of be, you know, I enjoy being kind of in the shadows. Like, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not famous. I have been recognized before at a convention. Hey, you're Nightram. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, people know me, but it's just fun to kind of be not famous. Famous to a very exclusive subset of people that you guys are a part of. So let's keep it going. Let's get some new suggestions and figure out where this party's going to go. Thanks for watching.